Preseason game 2 is upon us as the Buffalo Bills come into Acrisure Stadium to face your Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk about that and much, much more here on All About the Game. Welcome back to All About the Game. I'm your host, Jason, and we're here on Mic Drop Sports. I appreciate you for stopping through yet again for another episode. And today we're breaking down the Buffalo Bills at the Pittsburgh Steelers in Acrisure Stadium for preseason week 2. This is going to be a very big matchup in my eyes, guys. I think preseason week 2 is where you start to see now that the games have gotten knocked down from 4 preseason to 3 preseason games. I think this is where you start to see exactly what your team is made of. Preseason week 2 is basically, in my eyes, the audition, the realness. This is where we're going to get to see actually what this team should look like and where their positives are and where their negatives are and what they still need to work on ahead of week 1. So let's dive into this matchup. The Bills coming in with a win. They won their first preseason game against the Indianapolis Colts. I think they won 23-17. The Steelers also won their first week of the preseason, 27-17. So there's definitely some room for improvement on both sides, the Steelers and the Bills. The Bills should be a good test for the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially if we get to see those ones go up against each other in that first quarter, hopefully. Maybe we'll get to see the first group for both teams throughout the first quarter, or at least the majority of the first quarter. Maybe get to see 2-3 series from that first group. And this is, like I said, this is where you start to see what you actually have. What kind of cards are you holding? And I know they're not going to let all their tricks out of the bag, and they're not going to give away everything that they're going to do for the regular season in these preseason games, but you're going to get to see the fundamentals. Does this offensive line block well? Are they able to protect Kenny a little bit better? Are they able to, achieve big success in that run game? Are they able to get off the ball, get that second step, get that second foot in the ground and drive off and blow people off the football to allow the running backs to be able to reach that second level and burst through those holes? That's the kind of thing we want to see. Are the wide receivers, are they gelling with the quarterback? Are we going to get to see Calvin Austin III come in and take some first team reps? Are we going to get to see more of the tight end group and more of a jumbo package set, 12 personnel, heavy packages? Are we going to get to see a little bit of that? Is Matt Canada going to try to incorporate that into the offense this season? How about the defense? Is Keanu Benton going to continue to shine? How about Nick Herbig? Is he going to come out and have another stellar performance for this Pittsburgh Steelers team? Are we going to get to see now TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cam Hayward, maybe even get to see the rookie Joey Porter Jr. in his first live action in the NFL versus another team? So many questions, so many things that need to be jammed into such a small time frame for the Pittsburgh Steelers that they have to make some quick decisions and shoot from the hip here. And they've got to see these guys in practice. They've got to see how they work. Got to see what they're all about. They got to break them down, but now they need to see them out under the lights at Acrisure Stadium and see what they can truly do versus another opponent. And I know they got to see a little bit in week 1 of the preseason, but I felt like it was a lot of the 4th, 15 type guys out there playing 90% of the game. We did get to see a large dose of Broderick Jones, who still hasn't dethroned Dan Moore from the left tackle spot. Is he going to be able to do that? Or is he going to start off on the bench and start off watching this NFL season? Well, we're going to answer some of those questions. But let's break down the Buffalo Bills with their high-flying act of Josh Allen and all his weapons. And that Buffalo Bills defense, is it able to come in and being able to stuff the run? Or, they have a lot of questions on their side of the ball. Has their window closed? I've heard several people talking about that. They've been in that window for the last 3 or 4 years now, and they haven't capitalized. They were able to go in, almost damn near beat the Chiefs, things like that. They've been right on the cusp. But last year, the Bills dealt with so much adversity. They looked like a worn-out football team by the time the playoffs started to come around. They had the DeMar Hamlin situation, which had to have been mentally exhausting for those guys and just really put them in a spot of despair, considering it just probably mentally wore them totally out. And that was just such a tough situation. And we feel super bad for that team because I think they had high hopes last year. Josh Allen getting injured in the middle of the season didn't help them any. So many variables that didn't work out for the Buffalo Bills and didn't swing their way. And now they're coming in here. They had a decent showing in week 1 of the preseason, and they're looking to build on that. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have to be able to capitalize on this opportunity of playing a team that's looking to come out and make a statement in the preseason here, looking to establish that they are still the Buffalo Bills of the last couple seasons and that they're still in it and still in it to win it for the Super Bowl. And the Steelers, this is going to be a great test for them. You're going to get to go against Josh Allen. You're going to get to go against Diggs. You're going to get to go against these guys that are top shelf players. And that's going to mean a lot, especially for the defensive side of the ball for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're going to have to really be able to control that line of scrimmage. Is the pass rush going to be able to get to Josh Allen or whoever's at quarterback? Is Nick Herbig going to be able to be that backup and be able to spell Highsmith and Watt in pivotal situations to where they've been out on the field a ton during a game? Can we insert Herbig? Is he able to come in and be a stud and be able to still supply that elite pass rush that the Steelers have grown accustomed to with Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt? Does Keanu Benton still continue to shine? Does he continue to grow? Is he a day one starter? In my eyes, I think Keanu Benton is a day one starter. I think he will contribute a great deal to this Pittsburgh Steelers team. How about those inside linebackers? Are they able to control and come up and stuff that run? Are they able to be versatile enough to be able to contain and control short to intermediate passes and be able to cover those slot receivers? Do they have the athleticism that it takes to be able to be efficient in the pass game? I think that question will be answered in this game due to Josh Allen and his ability to throw the football and get through his progressions. I think that will challenge that inside linebacker group, and we should get some answers. What about this secondary? Is the cornerback position so beat up for the Pittsburgh Steelers that they're not going to be able to recover from it? They have Levi Wallace as probably the best corner. Now you have Patrick Peterson, who's an aging guy. And then you bring in the young guy, Joey Porter Jr. You're going to get to see him in his first real NFL action versus another team. And this is going to be a pivotal part of his growth. And we need to see it, and we need to see how he bounces back from that injury and how quickly and how quick he can get things out of his memory and be able to just singularly focus on his job and his duties to be able to become one of the most elite corners in the NFL. That's what it takes, is super focus, laser focus. And we got to see that out of Joey. Is he going to be able to do that? Is he going to be able to play with the tenacity like his dad did, that craziness, that just rough neck, just nasty type football player? Is he going to be able to play like that? We'll see. And I think we're going to get a lot of questions answered when he's out there on an island by himself with perhaps a top flight NFL wide receiver. We're going to get to see that, hopefully. So the defense has a lot of questions that need to be answered. How about the safety position? What about Keanu Neal, all those guys, KZ, Minka. We're going to get to see, hopefully, Minka for the first time this preseason. So many things we're going to get to see. And I think the Steelers defense is going to be able to benefit the most considering what the Bills have on offense. And that's going to depend on what they do. Do they play that first team against the Steelers' first team defense? How many reps are they going to be able to get out there? How long do the Steelers leave Joey Porter out there? How many reps do they want to see him get? Is he going to play with the 2s and 3s? You know, how's that going to work out? So we want to get those questions answered. And I think the Steelers defense is really going to respond in a big way. And I think they've added the pieces that they need to add. And I don't think the cornerback room is as in trouble as some think. I think Levi Wallace is top flight. I think he's a great ball player. I think Patrick Peterson still got some in the tank. I don't think he needs to be an every down number 1 NFL corner. but I think he can come in different packages and really provide a spark to that team. And I think Joey Porter is going to show and prove why he was picked with the first pick of the second draft as pick number 32. I think he will prove that. And I think Nick Herbig will come in again and give another stellar performance as he did in preseason week 1 with so many limited passing down snaps that he was in for. So let's move on. Let's talk about this Pittsburgh Steelers offense as they match up against this Buffalo Bills defense, who I feel lacks a little bit in the run department to where they're not able to stop the run as well as they once did. Von Miller's knee injury, his second significant knee injury. I just think things are stacking up against those Buffalo Bills on defense. So the Pittsburgh Steelers still are going to get a good look, but I want to see the Steelers capitalize on that Buffalo Bills weakness of not being able to stuff the run as what they once did. I want to see Najee Harris get some carries. I want to see Jaylen Warren really get the ball some, Anthony McFarland. But a lot of people are talking shit on Najee Harris, talking about how bad his camp has been, blah, blah, blah. This is all by design, folks. Don't be fooled by this, and don't be fooled by what some of these other people were saying about Najee. And I'm not knocking them. It's an honest opinion. I mean, they're reporting what they see. But Najee is being rested and not being utilized because the guy has seen significant NFL snaps, and he has significant wear and tear on his body already. Why would you put him out there to just get pummeled, perhaps get pummeled in a preseason game? They want to work Najee in and ease him back into it. And you might not see top flight Najee Harris until week 2, 3, to where he's just now getting his feet underneath him. But you have Jaylen Warren that's playing behind him, that's able to come in and provide that spark and is looking like he is ready right now. And I think Anthony McFarland looks damn good too. So I'm hoping that we get to see him versus some different looks, some different second team, first team looks maybe, just to see what he can do, just to see if he deserves that roster spot. Are the Steelers going to keep 3 running backs on the 53-man? Those questions are going to be answered. But I think a lot of it is contingent on that offensive line grouping. Are they going to continue to gel? Is Broderick Jones going to make a case tomorrow for himself being inserted into that left tackle position week 1? We need to see some answers and we need to see some questions still answered on that offensive line. I thought Sumalu played, phenomenal throughout this camp and throughout this preseason so far. We're going to get to see him, hopefully. We're going to get to see Dan Moore. Is he still just that guy? Is he steady? Is he feeling the pressure of a young Broderick Jones nipping at his heels? So many questions on that offensive line. We need to see if they're going to continue to gel. They need to be able to protect Kenny, to set up that play action pass, allow for that running game to reach that second level. So a lot is dependent on that offensive line, and I think we really need to look at it. And I think Matt Canada can help out by adding those heavy packages, a Darnell Washington, a Zach Gentry, adding that tight end group into the fold, going in 2 tight end sets, even 3 tight end sets, like figuring out how to beef up that blocking package. Because when you have that tight end group in, they're able to catch the football in a spectacular fashion. They're very athletic. But the most important thing is they provide a different layer to that offensive line blocking scheme. They're able to do more, I think, with them. And I think they're able to come out in a very heavy look and be able to run the football at will and be able to pass out of that package and be able to still have success with that, considering the talent that they have in that tight end room. And we need to see if Matt Canada is going to utilize that, and if Mike Tomlin's going to pressure Canada into utilizing those heavy packages, which I hope he does, because I think it could come with great success. What about Kenny Pickett? Is he going to continue to be the Kenny Pickett that we've seen so far this offseason? Is he going to continue to mature? I think he looks like a veteran guy already. Is he going to continue that trend? Is he going to continue the trend of getting better, going through his progressions and not just biting on that first look? Is Kenny going to be able to run that play action game with success? Is he going to have time? Is he going to be able to use his feet? We need to see some more out of Kenny, and we need to see him develop every week a little bit more, a little bit more. And that's what it's going to take for Kenny to get to that elite status. And I seen somebody, oh, wait, yeah, that jackass Bart Scott, the former Baltimore Raven, he was on his show, whatever show he's on, Good Morning Football something, I don't know. But anyway, he was on there and he said, I don't think the Steelers are going to be able to make the playoffs due to their quarterback position. I think that was the dumbest take that I've heard all offseason so far, because Kenny Pickett has not given anybody reason to say that the Steelers would miss the playoffs due to Kenny Pickett's play. He was tough last year, was in a tough situation, was a rookie, didn't get the snaps in the preseason at all to be able to be ready for that starting lineup. And he came in, he did what he had to do. He continually got better throughout the season, and we've seen that progression so far this offseason. So we're looking for it to continue as the Steelers take on the Buffalo Bills. And I really want to see that play action pass game start to develop here. I think that'll be a big part of the Steelers offense moving forward in 2023. And the Steelers also have that wide receiver group that I want to see more of. Allen Robinson, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Calvin Austin, Gunnar Olszewski, many others. I just want to see how that all starts to shake down. You know, is Calvin Austin going to play more? Is George Pickens the true number one on the team? Is Deontay Johnson still just that steady hand that you can go to no matter what, and he's going to get that catch? How do they utilize these wide receivers? Do they stack them all up on one side? Do they use a lot of motions? What kind of route trees are they running? You know, so many questions that we need to see there with the wide receivers. But I think it's an elite group, and I think it's going to take yet another step towards success. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are really gearing up here for a big year in 2023. And I think the Steelers are going to fare very well against this Buffalo Bills offense and defensive units here in preseason week 2. We need to still focus on those special teams because we'll actually get to see Boswell, Harvin, all those guys go to work. And we're going to see Boswell, is he back to the Boswell of a couple years ago, not last season? Is Harvin actually going to take that next step to be a quality NFL punter, because it's a very pivotal part of the game? It really can change field and momentum with just one kick. And Harvin has to be better, or I think he's going to get his walking papers. And I think Chris Boswell is going to come back and show you why he's one of the highest paid kickers in the NFL and why some rank him right behind Justin Tucker. So we're going to get to see those guys. But I think the Steelers are really going to look sharp against the Buffalo Bills, and you're going to continue to see that natural progression that this team is building and what you're going to see for the 2023 NFL season from your Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's wrap the show up. Like, share, subscribe. Keep on doing it, guys. I appreciate it. We're about to hit 500 subscribers, so let's do that today. So let's just keep on moving. We're really going here, and I appreciate it. And it's all because of you guys, the viewers, you guys taking the time out of your day to be able to watch these shows and give your insight in the comments. I truly appreciate it, and I'm very thankful for all of you. So keep on coming back. Keep on watching the show all about the game. Visit Mike Drop Sports. Share all your thoughts. We appreciate it so much. And until next time, peace.